Hey everyone, Reddy
Hey,
Linx here. I'm joined with Epic and Tyler.
Yes. Almost missed
mhm,
it.
yeah. I mean, you're here now, so
Welcome
come on.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
welcome back to another Choose Your Own Adventure live stream, number 25. Today's book is The Curse of the Creeping Coffin. For those of you who are new to the series, basically me and some guests will try to get one good ending in a Choose Your Own Adventure book with 3 tries. So if we get 2 bad endings, then that's okay. But the third ending we get, that's it. So this is number 8 in the Give Yourself Goosebumps series. I'll read the Beware page, and we'll go on from there. Alright, so beware. Do not read this book from beginning to end. You can't believe it. You stare out the window at the creepy cemetery in your grandmother's backyard. The graves are moving. You're sure of it. Then you turn to see an even more frightening sight. Your grandmother's house is haunted by ghosts. Lots of ghosts. Evil ghosts who want you. Why are the creeping coffins creeping? Do you stay to find out, or do you race home? Even though a terrifying ghost is waiting for you there too. If you stay, you discover that the coffins are spelling a message in the graveyard. A message that spells out your doom. Unless you can
Ooh.
find the ghost who is the keeper of the sword, steal the sword, and plunge it into the grave of the MPG. What's an MPG? You'll have to find out for yourself, but hurry. The ghosts are moving closer and closer. You're in control of this scary adventure. You decide what will happen and how terrifying the scares will be. Start on page 1, then follow the instructions at the bottom of each page. You make the choices. So, take a deep breath, cross your fingers, and turn to page 1 to give yourself goosebumps. So this looks like we're dealing with some kind of cemetery, haunted house kind of. We're definitely dealing with ghosts, that's for
Y-
sure.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Alright, before we officially start, I'm gonna get my, take myself a sip of a
Sure.
drink.
Sure, it's right, man. Yeah, sure, take your time.
I'm gonna.
Mhm.
Alright, I'm gonna need you two to listen carefully, and you guys in the audience to listen carefully too.
Sure.
Alright, we'll have we'll have you go on mute, and let's get started. Alright, page 1. I'm bored, you moan. I'm so bored I could eat flies, just to see how they taste. Flies have germs, your grandmother replies. It is a hot, sticky day in the middle of July. You plop down into a creaky old chair in your grandmother's kitchen. Your parents dropped you off yesterday, before they left for their vacation, and already you could die from boredom. Your grandmother's old dog, Sparkle, yawns loudly. He crawls under the table. Moments later, he begins to snore. I know just how you feel, Sparkle, you say. You sigh loudly. Why don't you go outside and find something to do? Your grandmother suggests. She looks up from the pie she's baking and nods toward the backyard. Go out there, you think? Into her backyard? No way. You glance out the window. It's probably 90 degrees in the shade, but you shiver. Your grandmother's house is right in front of an old cemetery. Rows and rows of old crumbling tombstones sit just beyond the edge of her backyard. But that's not what scares you. What scares you is that the tombstones have been moving. Go on to page 2. You noticed it right after you arrived yesterday. You saw the tombstones from your bedroom window on the second floor. You could tell some of the graves had cool carvings on them, so you decided to go outside and take a closer look. But when you entered the graveyard, something was different. Strange. Some of the graves were out of place. Nah, can't be, you told yourself. Graves don't disappear. But still, from your bedroom window, you could have sworn there were 6 or 7 graves in the back row. Now there were only 3. Nah, you must have counted wrong. You decided to forget about it and went to bed. But when you woke up this morning and glanced out the window, the coffins had moved again. And now there were 10 in the back row, and the middle rows seemed more crowded. It almost looked as if some of the graves were moving forward and some of the graves were moving back. And there was a big traffic jam in the center. Coffins were rearranging themselves. But how? And why? Go on to page 3. Your grandmother taps you on the shoulder. She snaps you out of your daydream.
Go on,
She says.
go play outside.
Outside? Out there? You shudder as you glance out the kitchen window again. Oh no, you cry. It's disappeared.
What's disappeared?
Your grandmother asks. The grave with the angel on it, you screech, pointing out the window. It's gone. One headstone in particular caught your eye yesterday. It had an angel carving on it. The angel looked so realistic you practically believed she could fly away. Did she? Your grandmother peers out the kitchen window.
Don't be a goose.
She scolds you.
Tombstone is still there.
You don't answer her. You can't. Your heart is pounding crazily and your mouth has gone dry. You bolt out the back door. You've got to see for yourself. But in the graveyard, you discover that your grandmother was right. The tombstone with the angel isn't gone. It just moved. It had been in the last row. Now it's up front. I'm losing my mind, you think. Losing it completely. Or are you? Find out on page 4. You run back to the house shouting, Grandma! You yell. That grave with the angel on it! Your grandmother interrupts you.
You don't have to shoot, dear. The angel.
She looks up from her pie crust.
It's a nice one. Let me see. Who was buried there? Oh, yes. That's Uriah Martin's grave.
Before you can explain about the moving gravestones, a voice on the far side of the room makes you jump.
The name is Elvira Martin.
The voice says sharply.
Not Elmira. You never could get my name right.
Your mouth drops open. A strange woman now stands in the doorway that leads to the kitchen into the hallway. A very strange woman, because she isn't a living, breathing woman. She's a ghost. Grandma? You begin. But from the way your granny is humming to herself, you can tell she doesn't hear or see this scary visitor.
And don't you stare at me, you little wretch,
The ghost says, pointing at you.
or you'll be sorry.
What are you going to do? Suddenly you're living in a haunted house. Alright, we're given our first choice in the book.
Uh-huh.
Run outside or talk to the ghost.
Uh,
Talking to ghosts can be dangerous.
yes, true, but
That is,
what's
yeah, Epic. You know how Ouija boards work, right? You know,
yeah,
like
true.
in the movies, they always, like you can communicate with spirits. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say communicating with a spirit face to face is even more dangerous than a Ouija board. Yes, a Ouija
yeah,
board can
true.
be well, yeah, a Ouija board can be dangerous, but face to face is more dangerous than that.
Yeah, it's very true.
So what should we do? Should we run outside or stay and talk with the ghost?
Epic. We should. Well, we
with the
know
ghost.
that talking to a ghost face to face can be more dangerous than a Ouija board, correct?
Yeah, but what if it forces us to talk with the ghost, though? Like,
Well, okay, try and run. Well, the first thing we need to do, we need. Well, if I was in that situation, I would book it. I'd say no way, and I'd run. I'd get my little ass out of that place. I'd be like, I'm gone. I would be gone in an instant.
okay.
I mean, first with
okay.
moving gravestones and now full on ghosts.
Yeah, yeah, something is off here. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'd be concerned that my grandma's house was living next to a freaking graveyard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
why? Why is that even like this in the first place?
Yeah.
Okay, so are we gonna run?
I think.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
All right, we're running outside.
Mhm.
All right. I'm going outside. You stutter.
That's nice.
Your grandmother says, returning to her baking.
And when you come back in, I hope you'll stop being so silly.
She still doesn't even notice the ghost in the doorway. You back up toward the door to the porch. You keep your eye on the ghost the whole time, and she keeps her glowing eyes on you. As soon as your hand reaches the doorknob behind you, you turn, fling open the door, and bolt. But just as you start down the back porch, two hands grab your ankle. You cry as you trip. You sprawl headfirst down the stairs, land on page 39. Ouch! Your land face down at the bottom of the steps. Good thing it
Ouch.
wasn't a long flight of stairs. You're only bruised and scratched. You scrape your chin, but nothing's broken.
Ha ha ha.
You hear a boy's voice say, yeah. You turn toward the voice. You want to see the jerk who made you tripped. Hey, wait a minute. There is no jerk behind you. You blink to be sure. Yep, you're sure. There's absolutely no one standing at the top of the stairs. Or anywhere else. Turn to page 44.
Ha ha.
The boy's voice taunts again.
Gotcha.
A girl's voice joins in. Right in front of your amazed eyes, a boy and a girl slowly begin to materialize. When they finally take shape, you can see that they're teenagers. But teenagers from a long time ago. The boy is dressed in a funny-looking black suit with a furry white shirt and shiny black shoes. The girl is wearing a long, old-fashioned white line dress. Her hair is braided and the are wrapped around her head 3 times. The boy and girl look almost solid, but not quite. You can see right through them. Bill! They shout at the same time. Then they double over with hysterical laughter. Your heart is still pounding wildly. Is this really happening? Or are you dreaming? There's one way to find out. Pinch yourself. If it hurts, turn to pit. Okay, I think this is what it's wanting us to do. It's wanting us to pinch ourselves and see if we actually feel pain from it.
I don't think pinching ourselves is a good idea, especially
Yeah,
with
that's the whole
you
thing.
two already know what's going on. But I don't.
No,
I do. Not,
it's
don't think we
saying
should
it's
the
saying
audience.
pinch ourselves and whatever
Yeah,
if it hurts we go one way, if it doesn't go another.
yeah, true. But like with my emotional state, I don't think I'm gonna be pinching myself anytime soon.
Okay, Epic how about we pitch ourselves? Tyler, you don't have to do
Sure.
anything.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Thank you.
And I do admit it
Alright,
does hurt.
I'm obviously feeling pain from my pinching. What about
Same.
you, Epic?
Same. I'm feeling pain.
Alright, I guess we're going to 53. So it's probably a fit. I don't even know why I even put this in, but whatever.
Yeah.
No doubt about it, you are definitely awake. This is really happening, which means you are face to face with two teenage ghosts. You stand up and brush yourself off. Who are you? You ask. trying not to let your voice tremble. What do you want? What are you doing here?
I'm Jay Luckmeyer,
The girl ghost says.
and this is my dearly beloved twin brother, John.
John bows deeply. Then he sticks out his tongue.
Oh, John,
Jane cries.
this will be so much fun.
Yes, dear sister, John answers. We haven't had any with the torment in ages.
An eternity.
Jane agrees.
But I've spent the time thinking of ever more horrible tricks and tortures.
You don't like the sound of that. Could these two creeps have something to do with the creeping coffins? Tell me something, you say, hoping you sound casual. Why have the coffins been moving around? The twins don't answer you. Instead, they cackle horribly and grin at you. Go on to page 66. The Lucky Meyer twins float down the steps toward you, and they both have an evil glint in their eyes. Uh-oh, these two who spell trouble. Double trouble. Run, you tell yourself, but which way? If you run away from them, you'll be running straight toward the graveyard. But your only way back to the house is getting past the Lucky Meyer twins first. They're floating closer and closer to you, and John is hiding something behind his back. You freeze. You can't decide what to do. You know John is up to something, and you know better not to stick around to find out what it is. But which way should you go? Don't think. Run. Alright, we're giving another choice. Run towards the graveyard, or try to slip past the twins and back into the house?
Ooh. I mean, should we go in the graveyard? Like, seriously, like, there's a bunch of stuff happening in the graveyard. I don't think we should.
Yeah,
Sorry,
there's a bunch of stuff happening in the correct.
Yeah.
sorry, but I don't think we should go to the graveyard.
No, we should not.
Yeah.
It's like, first we have to do, I mean, come on, think about this. At first, everything's going perfectly normal, right?
Mhm.
We're in the
First
house
we
with grandma,
first,
blah blah blah, this and that. And then the
uh,
next thing we know, now the graveyard is moving, and the ghost
now
appears in the house, trying to get us to talk to it.
so
Yep.
far we've only seen 3. And we've seen the Elvira Martin ghost, who sounds like a very, I don't know how to say it, grouch. And now we've
Yeah.
run into 2 Lucky Meyer twins, who seem like real troublemakers.
Yeah. I mean,
I say we just slip past these twins.
yeah, true, but then. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I say screw these twins and just run past them.
Yeah.
Sure, it may feel a little cold, but a little cold's not going to stop us. Alright, running past the
Yeah.
twins.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Alright. You run up the steps, starting sideways to get past John, but he grabs you with one hand. Whoa! For a see-through guy, John is strong. In his other hand, he dangles a ghost snake before your eyes. Yikes! The snake hisses in your face. Its fangs drip ghostly poison. John and Jane laugh at your terrified expression. John shoves the hissing snake into your face again. Its tongue darts in and out between its razor-sharp fangs. Can a ghost snake make you hurt? The pain where John is clutching your arm makes you think it probably can. You swallow hard and lurch away from him. Luckily, he and Jane don't try to follow. With a yank, you pull up your grandmother's kitchen door. Yikes again, the other ghost, Elvira, is standing right there.
So you've come back.
She snarls.
You may regret that.
She turns and floats into the hall. Then she floats up the stairs toward your room. Follow her to page 49. You follow Elvira to your room on the 2nd floor. The moment you step into the bedroom, she slams the door. Then she whirls around to face you. Her eyes turn green and begin to glow. You back up, stumbling, and fall onto the bed.
You little wretch,
She says.
I don't want any trouble for you.
Sparks seem to fly from her flashing green eyes. You shrink back into the pillows. Then Elvira gazes around the room.
Yes, yes,
She says,
this will do nicely.
What do you mean? You stammer. Elvira floats toward the bed. She hovers over you.
I'm taking over this room now,
She tells you.
get out.
You would love to leave, but you are shaking too hard to get up. Besides, you have to find out what's going on. Elvira is the only one who can explain it to you. Please, you beg. Just tell me why you are here. And why are the graves moving?
Shut up, she screeches, and get off that bed. I want to lie down. I haven't slept in a bed in 51 years.
Uh-oh, you realize. You aren't just dealing with a ghost here. You're dealing with a ghost in a very bad mood. You better do some. You better do what she says on page 72. You jump up from the bed. Elvira lies down, neatly spreading her white satin dress on the covers. Her long red hair fans out across the pillow.
She sighs. A real bed.
She shuts her eyes. You hope she doesn't sleep too long. You have so many questions to ask, and you hope she'll be in a better mood when she wakes up. She dozes for exactly 2 minutes, then her eyes pop open. You notice they aren't glowing green anymore. That, uh, Elvira says.
That's better.
Now that she's awake, you're not sure how to begin. You're almost too freaked out to speak. But you have to know. Why are the graves moving? You ask. What's going on?
It's the curse of the creeping coffins,
The ghost woman answers.
and we're moving into this house. All of us.
All of us? Gulp. What does that mean? Rush to page 106. What do you mean, all of you? You manage to stammer.
You ask way too many questions.
Uh-oh. Elvira's eyes flash green again.
Don't get in our way and maybe we will let you live.
She sours up over your head and glares down at you.
And don't you go talking to that ghost hunter McFarling either.
Elvira adds. In the next instant, she floats backwards and disappears into the wall. McFarling? A ghost hunter? You are startled by loud clomping footsteps above you. You glance up at the ceiling. The light fixture is shaking. It sounds as if a whole crowd wearing clunky boots is stomping around in the attic. Who could it be? Alright, we're given another choice, guys.
Yeah.
If you want to find out about McFarling, turn to page 16. If you want to find out who's in the attic, turn to page 85.
Wait.
Uh,
Well, there's a is that guy a ghost hunter, correct?
Yeah.
We need to know what this guy. We need to know what this guy is about.
yeah, I think agreed.
What's
Because
with
here's
this
the thing.
Elvira? She seems to be like a grouchy sleeper. Like,
Yeah,
Well, here's the
yeah,
thing.
definitely.
You gotta know one. You have to know this. Is you know what ghost hunters do, right? They hunt for paranormal.
Yeah.
Okay. Do either of you guys know who Zach Baggins is?
Yeah, I
I
think
have heard of ghost hunters, but I haven't heard of
Yes.
that guy specifically.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
what this guy in this book is. He's just like that guy. He's like just like that TV show.
So
Well,
ghost hunter.
let's
So
go
yeah, we need to,
McFarlane.
and I want to learn more about, and I'm fascinated about ghost hunting.
Oh, nice.
So
All right,
So
so I guess we're gonna go find out more about this McFarlane guy.
yeah, why
sure.
not?
Yeah,
All
sure.
right,
Yeah, let's feed my fascination.
McFarlane. All right, a ghost hunter. That is exactly what you need. But how are you going to find this McFarlane guy? You dash out of your room and run downstairs as fast as you can. You rush back into the kitchen. Grandma, you gasp, almost out of breath. Do you know someone named McFarlane?
Oh, don't you go talking to me about, Mac McFarling. Mac McFarling,
she says.
that loan, he came around here last month, told me he thought my house would be haunted soon. She said something about a curse, too. Can you imagine that? I don't want you going anywhere near that man.
Let's face it. Granny's not going to be much help. So you race to the computer. On a hunch, you search for ghost exterminators. Bingo. There he is. Mac McFarling. Ghost hunter. There may be hope after all. As long as you can get out of the house before Elvira finds out what you're doing. Shh. Tiptoe out of the door on page 33. Luckily, everything in your grandma's small town is within biking distance. 20 minutes later, you've biked over to Mac McFarling's office, which happens to be located in his garage. You knock on the side door of the garage. Come in, a voice calls. You yank open the door. Wow, you think when you see him. Mac McFarling has frizzy, hickey blonde hair sticking out all over his head. He's wearing 6 earrings, a nose ring, and a pair of heavy black frame glasses with blue lenses in them. He's about 20 years old. So that's why your grandma didn't like him. He's cool. What's up? McFarling asks. You look like you've just seen a ghost. He laughs. Sorry. Just a little ghost hunting humor. You explain about Elvira and that she told you the ghosts are going to take over your grandmother's house. I've been expecting this, McFarling says, shaking his head. I tried to warn your grandmother. Can you help us? You plead. His eyes are hidden behind the blue lenses. You can't tell what he's thinking. Will Mac McFarling help you? Find out on page 37. Suddenly, McFarling swings into gear. He picks up a strange electronic box and heads for the door. Come on, he says. We've got to hurry. Let's go. Finally, someone who can help you. You feel better already. McFarling jumps into his car, an old VW Bug. You hop on your bike. As you ride to your grandmother's house, he drives along beside you. He rolls down the window and talks to you the whole time. Have the gravestones been moving around? He asks. Yes, you exclaim. So you're not crazy. Why are they doing that? I'm not sure, he says. I've only seen it once before, but I think they're moving into position to spell out some kind of message or curse. Graves can spell? That doesn't sound possible. But you're ready to believe anything. How can we stop them? You ask Mac. It won't be easy, he tells you. You were afraid of that. Turn to page 45. First, McFarling explains, you'll have to fight the keeper of the sword. That's one of the ghosts. You'll need to get that special sword and use it to stop the MPG. What's the MPG? You ask. The most powerful ghost, McFarling says. It's a term for the spirit who has control over the graveyard. Once you have the sword, Mac continues, you must plunge it into the grave of the MPG. But you've got to hurry. Because when all the graves have moved into position and spelled out the message, it'll be too late. The curse will be complete, and after that, you'll never be able to get the ghosts back into their graves. Your head is spinning about what Mac just told you, but you nod as if as if you understand. You've arrived at your grandmother's house. McFarling stops his car and hops out. You get off your bike and park it. McFarling faces your grandmother's house and switches on the funky electronic box he's carrying. Red dials light up. Then you hear a loud beeping sound. Uh-oh, McFarling says. Major trouble. Give me $1. We're given a choice. Do we give McFarling $1 or refuse to give him money?
Wait, what? What?
The-
What does he need? Okay, he doesn't say what he does. What does he need the money for?
Well,
Well,
maybe he's saying this is probably his job and
yeah,
he's expecting some pay for this. No way people do
probably.
this for free.
Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think we need to pay up.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything stupid that we're gonna regret.
Okay, let's give him $1 then.
Sure.
You reluctantly hand McFarling a dollar bill. He folds the dollar in half twice. Then he jams it into a tiny slot of his electronic box. A minute later, the beeping stops. The box spits the dollar back out. Thanks, McFarling says. The spirit counter was jammed. He gives the dollar back to you. Weird, you think, but it seems to have worked. Then McFarling stares at the red dials on his machine. Bad news, kid, McFarling says finally. By my count, there are 10 ghosts in the house already. That's way over my limit. You're on your own. He starts back toward his car. Wait! You call after him. You can't leave me here! Please! You have to help me! McFarling hesitates for a moment, then he shrugs. Okay, he says. This is what I'm willing to do. I'll help you make a map of the graveyard. Come on. A map of the graveyard? What for, you wonder? But you don't ask questions. You just follow Mac into the cemetery and do what he tells you. An hour later, you've got a drawing of the first 4 rows of gravestones. To see the map, turn to page 127. Oh my god, there's actually a map on here. How am I gonna show you guys this? Okay, Epic, I'm gonna send you with the picture through Discord. I don't know how I'm gonna send it to
Sure.
Tyler
Wait.
though.
Then what? Is he gonna forward it to me on WhatsApp then?
I don't have your WhatsApp though. I mean,
I added you. Hold on.
let me.
Alright,
Oh, I
there's the
never
map,
messaged
Epic.
you. Hold on.
There's different gravestones along with Grandma's house, the rest of the graveyard, and a lot of different names on each of the graves.
I see.
Rachel Young, Thomas Owen, Patrick Unger, Ben
Yeah.
Wong, Elizabeth Ives, John, the Luckmeyer twins, Mary
Yeah.
Dawson, Gregory Ives, Archibald Swoop, Nancy Ottoman, Chester Ottoman, and Robert North.
Hmm. Okay.
So a total of 13 gravestones.
13? That's
No.
crazy.
Wait.
Holy
Oh yeah. 14. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
So
Dang.
surely this is gonna have to come up with something soon.
Yeah. True.
So now we've got a map of the graveyard.
Uh-huh.
Alright, turn to page 65. You stare down at the map of the gravestones in your hands. You wonder how it could possibly help. Big trouble, Max says, peering over your shoulder. The message is already almost completely spelled out. What message? You ask, puzzled. Look at these first 4 rows, he says, pointing at the paper. The rest of the graves don't matter. That's why I didn't put them on the map. Take a pen and circle the first letter of the last name. On each tombstone, it spells out a message. Don't you see? No, you don't see. And you won't see until you do it. So do it. Turn to the map, circle the first letter of each last name on each tombstone. It will spell out a message, or part of one. Okay, so
Yeah.
Go to the map, circle the first letter of the last names on each tombstone.
So. Yeah,
Alright,
yeah,
so circle the first letter of the last names.
So you.
Alright,
Oh, I
young,
know.
that's a
Okay,
Y.
I know exactly what it says.
YOU
You will
will
di
DI soon. You will,
you will
assuming
die
at that,
soon.
you'll die soon.
Yeah, basically.
When you discovered the message, turn to page 91. Oh no, you gasp. You stare at the map, and at the message spelled out of the gravestones. You will DI soon. So that's the terrible message the gravestones are moving about the spell. And is the you? Or is the curse directed to your grandma? Either way, it's super bad news. Mac, you say, there's only one letter missing. Only one more coffin has to creep into place and then the curse will be complete, Mac says. He turns and walks back to his car. Wait! You call after him. He stops, but only long enough to pull out a business card. Here, he says. Call me after you defeat the Keeper of the Sword. Then I'll tell you what to do next. Then he jumps back into his VW bug, leaving you standing in front of your grandmother's house. Oh, oh, he calls as he starts to drive off. Two things to remember. Be sure to find out the same name of the Keeper of the Sword, and stay away from the Luckmeyer twins. The Luckmeyer twins, you think? Okay, here's something. If you've met the Luckmeyer twins already, turn to page 8. If you haven't met them, turn to page 64.
Well, we've met
We
them.
have,
Yeah.
yeah, we've met them, John and Jane. So
Yeah.
we're gonna go to page 8.
Sure.
Yeah, we've met John and Jane already. All right. The Luckmeyer twins. What are they up to now, you wonder? As McFarlane drives off, you notice that the sky is growing dark. The night is falling, and there's a thin, wispy ring of clouds around the moon. An owl hoots nearby. Then it swoops toward you. Its claws seem to be aimed right for your face. You duck and feel the tip of its wings brush past your cheek. When you glance up, you notice a curtain moving in a window on the second floor of your grandmother's house. There they are. That teenage ghost and his twin sister with the braids wrapped around her head. Jane and John Luckmeyer. John points down at you and laughs evilly. I hope he's not the keeper of the sword, you think. Then you notice something strange up in the attic window. A light flickers on and off, on and off. Someone is up there. Is it the keeper of the sword? There's only one way to find out. You take a deep breath and head toward the house, the haunted house. Oh, here's another one. If you think John Luckmeyer is the keeper of the sword, turn to page 88. If you think the keeper of the sword is hidden in the attic, turn to page 102.
Oh.
So do we think it's John Luckmeyer or do we think it's someone else?
Well, okay. We have to know. Okay. First, the first thing we need to do is we need to understand what behavior has John Lugmeyer been exhibiting throughout our journey
He's
so
just
far.
been like a prankster or something.
Yeah.
A prankster wouldn't
So,
be that evil, would it?
No, not really.
yeah. Like, do you think? Because I don't think a prankster would be smart enough to wield a sword.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not.
Yeah, it's clearly someone else.
Yeah.
And clearly John is not the MPG, most powerful ghost.
Yeah.
This MPG is clearly someone more evil and capable of spilling out the grave thing.
Yeah,
So,
true.
hold on, John. You guys are saying that John Lugmeyer is a prankster, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, we're saying that.
Because
He's
I
clearly
just
not
looked. Yeah,
the MPG.
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, I just looked this up, and in fact, you guys are right. It says a prankster should not hold a sword, whether real or a prop, during a prank.
Yeah, so it's
There you
all
go.
right.
There's your answer.
We're gonna say if you think the keeper of the sword is hidden we're gonna check the attic, see if
Sure.
Exactly.
the real
Exactly.
keeper of the sword is up there.
Yeah, because we
Sure.
need to be logical. Like there are some moments in the story where we need to be logical. I will
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
that.
All right. Using the back door, you quietly slip into the house. Then you sneak up the back staircase to the second floor. You peek around the corner carefully. You don't want to run into the luck miners. When you are sure the coast is clear, you start up the stairs toward the attic. As soon as you step into the stairway, you see a huge soldier standing at the top of the third floor landing. His uniform is old-fashioned. Civil War, you guess. And judging from the medals pinned to his gray jacket, this guy knows what he's doing. And what he's doing right now is pulling a sword from its holder. The sword is about 5 feet long. The is mother of pearl, encrusted with sapphires. The blade gleams. Even in the darkness, you can see that it's dangerously sharp. The enormous soldier points the sword at your heart. Do not advance one more step unless you are willing to die, he booms. Go on to page 104. You can't take your eyes off the sword. The longer you stare at it, the more your legs shake. Then it dawns on you. This soldier must be the keeper of the sword. So what are you going to do? Run and hide? Definitely. Trembling in fear, you start to back up. That's when you feel a sharp point sticking you in the back, right between your shoulder blades. Ouch! You cry out. Turning around, big trouble. Behind you is another ghost. And this one's dressed in a fencing costume. White canvas pants, a wire mesh mask, leather gloves. And God, the new ghost says. The voice echoes all around you. From the voice, you know this ghost. Oh, wait, wrong. It's a ghost. All right, so we're just gonna pretend I said, and God. Then you realize something. She has a sword too. Two ghosts, two swords, both dangerous, but only one has the sword you need. But which one is it? All right, we're given a choice. If you think the fencer is the keeper of the sword, turn to page 99. If you think it's the soldier, turn to page 118.
Okay, what
So
are the
it's
swords?
basically
What are our swords?
which one do we think is the keeper of the sword?
I don't
Okay,
know.
first of all, what do these swords look like?
Fencer.
Well, the soldiers seem to have sapphires on them, and it's like 5 feet long. And
Okay.
the other one looks like it's just a fencing sword.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. So by that
Wait a
logic, if
well, wait a
we
minute.
yeah,
Wait a
well, I feel
But
like here, if we apply
what if
logic,
it's a trick? What if
Yeah.
this is a trick?
Yeah. Exactly.
how? Okay, how? Explain the thought process.
What if that's just a sword that the soldier would a soldier really have a sword on his hand?
Yeah. Exactly.
It's a Civil War soldier with a sword. That is
Yeah.
Correct.
definitely
That that's
a
that's
soldier would definitely
suspicious
have
to me.
guns or grenades or stuff like that. He wouldn't just
Yeah.
why would a soldier have a medieval sword?
Yeah.
Correct. So by that logic, if the fencer has a fencing sword, you can automatically eliminate him. You know he's innocent.
But why would a soldier have a medieval sword?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. That is
Yeah.
so
So
suspicious.
it's got to be the
That's
fencer.
wrong. How? How would a
All right.
soldier have a medieval sword?
Yeah.
That is not logical. By
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
Agree.
logic, by
let's
no logic would
yeah,
I believe that.
let's say the fencer. The fencer.
Okay. Sure.
All right, fencer. You decide to duel with the woman in the fencing costume. She's not as big as a soldier. And guard yourself! You cry. You notice as soon as you shouted at the woman, the soldier ghost vanished. The fencer guides toward you. Approaching slowly, you feel around desperately for something you could use as a weapon. The whole time, you keep your eyes glued to the sharp tip of her sword, or rather, her foil. That's what a fencing sword is called. The fencer keeps coming toward you. Slowly, beads of sweat break out along your upper lip. The tip of the foil wavers slightly as if the fencer you- were, to, were deciding on the perfect spot to stab you. Finally, your fingers grasp something leaning against the wall. An umbrella. It's not much, but it'll have to do. You grab it and strike a fencing pose. God! You shout again. The fencer freezes, her foil raised. Then in a flash, she lunges at you. Quick, find out if you're still alive on page 122. The tip of the blade slices right through your neck. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Good news, you're still alive. And you never felt a thing. You know why. The fencer is a ghost. She's not solid, she's airy, see-through. And so is her weapon. You pick up your umbrella and slice back. You lunge toward, poking your umbrella right between her ribs. Your umbrella has the same effect on her that her foil has on you. None. There's no point in keeping up this duel. Neither you could win. You put down the umbrella. Are you the keeper of the sword? You ask her. Yes, she says. She reaches up and pulls off her mask. You gasp, and your stomach turns over. She doesn't have a face, because she doesn't have a head. Yes, this is the sword you need, she tells you. You wonder where her voice is coming from, and I will give it to you if you can find my head. Is she kidding? What are the chances? Maybe you should just try to grab the sword. Okay, we're given a choice. Grab the sword or look for her head.
Oh, shit.
Uh,
Why does she need her head back so bad? She's a
Bec-
ghost. Oh,
because
no,
she
that's
lost it.
creepy. That is creepy.
Clear. Okay, clearly this if we try to grab the sword, something's gonna happen to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but at the same time, the whole idea of finding a head isn't.
So,
Don't you
so
guys
this
think
is
that's a
this is
bit
a this is a
Yeah.
headless
creepy?
ghost who is looking for their head.
No.
I said we look for the head.
Yeah,
If you do have
agreed.
any objections, let me
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, let's
yeah,
look for the head. I
that's
don't know. I'm
kinda
judging.
creepy
All right,
and
we're
stupid,
looking.
honestly.
Let's look for the head.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you tell her. I'll find your head. Wait here. But where should you look? You dash up the stairs to the attic. It's the only room you haven't been in since you arrived. And you definitely would have noticed a head if you've seen one. You rummage around the attic. You search through everything. Twice. Trunks of old clothes, piles of old furniture, golf clubs. No ghost head. You glance around the dusty room. Think. There may not be much time left. If I were a ghost head, where would I be? You ask yourself. You suddenly spot a large moose head sitting on the floor by a broken chair. You kneel down to examine the 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 mount the mothed goose moose head. Up close, it looks even worse. The antlers are cracked and one eye is missing. It is filthy and has a musty odor. It's not even human. But what choice do you have? It's the only head here. Besides, you're in a big hurry. You've got to get the sword before the coffins creep again. You grab the moose head and race downstairs. Your only hope is that the keeper of the sword won't be furious when she sees the head you brought her. Cross your fingers for luck and turn to page 80. I found the head, you call out when you reach the landing. You clutch the moose nervously. You peer into the darkness, trying to find the headless ghost. The woman's body materializes in the steps below you. Good, her voice says. You still can't figure out how she can talk. Just set it down right here, on the stairs. Really? Think this is going to work? Maybe the ghost hasn't seen the moose head yet. What will she do when she discovers what you've done? Trembling, you set the moose head down on the bottom step. You hold your breath. For a moment, nothing happens. Hold on, give me a second. Someone's calling me midstream. I'm gonna... Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Alright. Then the moose head begins to shake. At first, it just rocks back and forth a little, but soon it starts to vibrate wildly. The moose head begins to glow, as if there was a light inside it. Then a ghostly woman's face appears inside the moose. You can't believe it, but there it is. The face of a beautiful young woman, trapped within the dusty old moose head. Wow, you did it! You actually found her head! Turn to page 51. You stare at the glowing, ghostly face. Your mouth drops open as the face rises out of the moose head. The woman's face floats up and hangs in midair, right in front of you. Thank you, the head says. You have released me from my trap. Her eyes are large and bright blue. Her ruby lips shimmer in the darkness. Her long black hair hangs down, falling below her neck. Her neck? You glance at it. You try not to scream. Torn flesh dangles from the bottom of her neck. Blood drips from the ragged edges. Suddenly you realize what you're seeing. It looks as if her head has been chopped off. Try not to faint. Turn to page 41. Are they gonna show us a dead body?
Probably.
I hope not. This would be way too graphic for a kid's book.
Yeah. Yeah, I do admit. Yeah, that would be graphic for a kid's book.
Well, let's see if Stein actually pulled it off on page 41.
Sure.
All right. Your stomach turns at the sight of her bloody neck. Then you notice the ghost's body is still hovering below you. It floats up the steps and somehow attaches to her head. Thank you, she says once she's in one piece. She hands you her foil. I am the keeper of the sword. Take this and use it as you will. Now I must return to my grave. You remember McFarling's instructions. Wait, you call. What's your name? Sarah, she whispers as her foam fades away. Then she's gone. Run to the phone and dial McFarling's number. When he answers, you tell him you've got the sword. Good, McFarling says. Listen carefully. Find her grave in the graveyard. Write down the year of her death. It's a special number. You'll need it. Then plunge her sword into the grave of the MPG. That's the only way to keep the graves from spilling out the curse. How do I find the MPG? You ask. Oops, McFarling says. Call waiting. Gotta go. He hangs up. Call waiting? You think? What a liar. He just doesn't know how to help you find the MPG. Now what? Alright, we'll give it a choice. Go to the graveyard, or if you think the MPG will come to you.
Hmm.
So we can either go to the graveyard or think the MPG will come for us.
I don't know. I think they're gonna come for us, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know.
Okay, why do you think it's gonna come for us?
Because
Honestly.
like the whole
No,
like the whole like
I don't think this MPG is gonna come for us. I think he's just gonna finish the curse and then he's gonna come for us.
okay, makes sense, okay.
Yeah,
So
he's
we
gonna
have
finish
to,
that curse.
we have to risk.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
If
put
no
our
one
lives
stops
at
him,
risk.
he'll finish this curse and make Grandma's house haunted forever.
Yeah, I guess you can say that.
I said we just go out to the graveyard and try to find this MPG and kill it before it kills us.
Sure, okay. Yeah, okay, why not? Yeah, good point.
Alright, we're going to the graveyard.
Okay, sure.
And besides, we had the choice of going into the graveyard and we didn't.
Yeah, true.
So this time we're going into the graveyard and not the other choice. So it's
Okay,
the
sure.
other way around.
Uh-huh.
Alright. You race out to the graveyard. You've got to find the fencing woman's grave fast. Then it hits you. You only know her first name. Sarah. Sarah who? You run up and down the rows of tombstones, searching for a grave marked Sarah. Naturally, you find two. One is Sarah Grayson, born in 1820, died in 1895. The other one is Sarah McGinnis, born in 1918, died in 1940. It's up to you. Which is the right Sarah? Think carefully, then pick one. You balance the sword under one arm and feel around in your pockets. You pull out a broken pencil in your jeans. You glance down and find a crumpled gum wrapper on the ground. You grab it with shaking fingers and write down the year of Sarah's death. You hope you chose correctly. Alright, here's what it's saying. Have you written down the date of Sarah's death? Good, because something terrifying is happening behind you. You really don't want to keep your back turned. So put down your pencil and turn to page 114 if you dare.
I
Wait,
Okay,
what do you
clearly
know?
we're gonna have to decide which Sarah is. The
But-
Sarah we saw was a beautiful young woman.
Yeah, true.
Sarah
What are the-
Grayson died 1820 to
Uh-huh.
1895.
Uh-huh.
No, so that okay, hold on.
That's a
1820 to
75-year gap.
1895?
There is no way that is a beautiful young woman.
No.
Yeah, agreed.
No.
It's got to be Sarah McGinnis, who died in
Yeah.
1918 to 1940.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's logical. That's
Yeah.
logical there. What was it?
Uh-huh.
1940 what was it? What year was he born?
1918, died in 1940.
So 1940 minus 1918, that's 22 years.
Yeah, that's
Makes
a
sense.
22-year gap.
What was the other and what's the other option?
Sarah Grayson, born in
Uh-huh.
1820, died in 1895.
1895 minus
Yeah,
1820, that's 75.
Yeah.
75 and 22.
So
we-
obviously we want to pick the one with the 22-year age gap. That would be the correct option.
Turn to page 114. You don't like the prickly feeling in the back of your neck. You turn around slowly and gasp. The coffins have moved again. You can tell you've wandered to the front of the graveyard. You are standing by the first row, the row that spelled out you in the curse. The row that used to have only 3 great tombstones. But now the front row is crowded with gravestones. 7 of them. 4 more coffins have creeped into place. You glance toward the back of the graveyard and notice new empty spots. It's true. The tombstones are spelling again. Your heart pounds as you run along the now of reading the 4 new names, trying to see what the new initials will spell out. Bannister, Oswald, Thackeray, Hamilton, BOTH. Oh no.
Oh no.
Now the message reads, you both will DI soon.
Ooh.
Quick,
Good.
hurry to page 31.
What
Your
do we
throat tightens in terror. Okay. Your heart pounds wildly. Both you and your grandmother are cursed now. Your granny can't even see the ghosts. She won't be able to save herself. It's all up to you now. You grip the sword as hard as you can as your hand cramps. You've got to stop the coffins from moving again. You've got to. You've got to do it now. Before the final coffin moves into place and the curse is complete. But who is the most powerful ghost? One more letter, you mutter. Only one more letter is needed to spell out the message. The last letter and the word die, the letter E. Then it hits you. The most powerful ghost must be someone whose last name starts with an E. That's it. They may live after all. You may live after all. You run to the gravestones looking for the tombstone, searching for E's. You find 3. Melvin Estep, Melvin Estep II, and Brandon Estep. But which one's the most powerful ghost? You could guess, or you could go into the house and ask Elvira for help. Alright, we'll give it a choice. Do we make a guess and take a stab, or should we run back and ask Elvira for help?
We need to hurry up and just say something quick.
Well,
Taking a guess, that's a big gamble. That's a
Yeah.
33% chance we get it right. That's a big
Yeah.
risk. I'm not taking it.
yeah,
Yeah, I know.
exactly.
I say we go back and try to ask Elvira.
Yeah,
Even though
agreed.
she may be a grouch when she doesn't get much sleep, but what other choice do we have? The
Yeah.
luck
Yeah,
buyers?
exactly.
They're clearly not going to help us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we have two. It's like we have two options here. Either A, we guess and I potentially get a panic attack, or B, we go and we say something. And you probably already know what I don't want to do.
All right, let's do Elvira. If
Yeah,
this is
thank
wrong, we still have 2 tries left, and
Yeah,
it will be
agreed.
okay.
If
Uh-huh.
we get it
Because
wrong,
remember, we have 3 lives, so...
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. It's not like we don't.
Alright.
Come
yeah.
on.
Alright. You decide to play it safe by asking Elvira for help. You turn and race into the house. Your grandmother's watching TV in the den. You dash past her. She doesn't even look up from her program. The eerie light from the television is the only light in the whole house. You hurry up the back stairs in your room. You've got to find the MPG, and there's only one person, or ghost, who might be able to help you. Flip on the light in your small guest bedroom. A piercing shriek shatters the night. Now what? Cover your ears and turn to page 15.
Turn off that stupid light.
Elvira screams.
I'm trying to get some sleep.
Sorry. You quickly flick off the light, but you don't have any trouble seeing Elvira. She glows in the dark. I have to ask you something, you tell her, but she pulls the pillow over her face. This isn't going to be easy. She's one sleepy ghost. Then you have an idea. You flick on the light again. Elvira sits straight up and lets out a piercing wail. Elvira! You say. I'll turn off the light if you answer one teeny question. Then you can sleep as long as you want. I promise. Your eyes begin to glow. Her eyes begin to glow green again. But she looks very sleepy. Maybe she'll be too tired to hurt you. Who's the most powerful ghost in the graveyard? You blurt out. Elvira blinks a bit. She says.
I'd say Melvin Estep's boy. He does tend to rule us with an iron hand.
The E-Step boy, you mutter. But there are 2 of them. Melvin the second and Brandon. Which one? But Elvira doesn't answer. She's fast asleep. And you promised you wouldn't wake her up again. You always keep a promise. Hurry to page 43. You turn and run out of the room, leaving Elvira snoring peacefully in your bed. You head back to the graveyard. You're going to have to take a chance on one of the E-Step brothers. And fast. Before the graves move again. Only one letter left before the curse is complete. That's what keeps going through your head. When you reach the graveyard, you are almost out of breath from running up and down the stairs as many times. But the sight that greets you nearly takes your breath away completely. You think you might faint. The graveyard is filled with ghosts, horrible ghosts. One of them, an old man with long, stringy hair, carries an axe. A woman sobs. A head with a body passes. Then a body without a head. Which ghost is is worse? Each ghost is worse than the last. Then you remember the fencing foil in your hands. You raise the sword and fend them off. It works. They float all around the graveyard. But they don't come near you. You run straight to the Aesop graves. But which one? Melvin the second or Brandon? You've got to choose. Alright, we're given a choice. Do we pick Melvin Estep the second or Brandon Estep?
Hey, I don't know.
Okay, Brandon Estep or the other person?
Or Melvin Estep the second?
What? I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know. Like
Something tells me the second isn't gonna
Why?
put much.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Why?
technically a last name?
What?
Yeah, true.
The second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Brandon. I say
Yeah,
Brandon.
same.
What do you think?
Yes. I
don't
think
know.
Brandon.
I don't know. I'm just
All right, let's
panicking
hope
right
it's
now.
Brandon. If it's not, we'll still have 2 more lives left, and we could pick Melvin afterwards.
Okay.
Sure, sure.
We're going Brandon first.
Are you sure about that?
Brandon E-Step.
Yeah.
You cross
Yeah.
your fingers and decide to take a chance on Brandon E-Step. You run over to his tombstone and stand in front of it. You hold the sword in both hands like a dagger. With the point down, your hands tremble so much you're afraid you'll drop the sword. You tighten your grip and take a deep breath. Then you raise the sword above Brandon's grave and prepare to plunge it into the ground. But something stops you. What happened? Find out on page 36. You hear a booming crack. In the next instant, the ghost of Brandon Eastep rises up out of his grave. Is he the MPG? Have you chosen the right Eastep? You peer at Brandon as he floats toward you. He's a young guy wearing a black leather motorcycle jacket with heavy metal spikes and chains and a metal hand. A metal hand? A chill of terror runs through you. This must be him, the most powerful ghost. The ghost with the iron hand. You raise the foil again, but the ghost lunges at you and grabs your arm with his iron hand. Your arm freezes. You can't move. For a moment, you panic. Then you remember what McFarlane told you. The date of Sarah's death. It's magic, somehow. Did you write down the date of McFarlane like McFarlane told you? Good. Then find out the date and add up all 4 digits in the year. What's the new number? Well, that's your next page.
Okay.
Okay.
If you don't remember the date, turn to page 96 and choose one of the Sarahs.
Okay.
Add up the
Okay,
4 digits of the
please.
year and her date and her death and turn into that page.
Please tell
Okay.
me you guys have the year she died.
Like,
Here's this. If it says if you don't remember the date, turn to page 96 and choose one of the Sarahs.
Don't we have it? Wasn't it like
Yes, we do.
Ni-
1940?
1940.
It was
Yeah.
it was back then when we saw the 2 Sarah, like Sarah Grayson, Sarah McGuinness.
Okay, so 0 doesn't have any value. 1 plus 9 plus 4 equals 14 somehow.
Is it 14?
Well, think about it. 0 doesn't do anything. Whether you add the 0 or not, it doesn't change anything.
True.
think about it. 1 plus 9 plus 4 is 14, but 1 plus 9 plus 4 plus 0 is also 14. In this case, the 0 has no value. It doesn't
True.
change anything.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
are we gonna say it's 14 and hope for the best?
I would think so. I would think so because didn't it say add the 4 digits of the year, correct? That was 1,
Yes.
9, 4, 0. But we don't need the 0 because 0, no matter what, whether we put 0 or not, it would still be 14 to begin with. So if I put plus 0, I get the same thing anyway.
So the page should be number 14.
Yes, exactly. Because
Yeah, I guess so.
because if the 0 doesn't have any value, then what does it matter in our equation?
True.
All right, let's go to page 14 and let's hope. Let's cross your fingers, guys. Cross your fingers.
Sure.
All right. Congratulations, you picked the right Sarah. Sarah McGuinness, born in 1918, died in 1940, at the age of 22. You knew she was the right one, because the fencing ghost was a young, beautiful woman. So she must have died young. The other Sarah in the graveyard lived in 75 years old. Very clever of you to figure it out. Suddenly you hear her voice. It fills your ears. I am the keeper of the sword, she calls to you from her grave. Let my foil do the work. Let go. Let go? Weird, you think, but you do it. As soon as the foil leaves your hand, it floats in midair, and it plunges itself deeply into the earth, into Brandon Aesop's grave. Oh! The ghost cries. His shimmering body begins to fade, and then disappears back into the earth. Your eyes open wide and your mouth drops open as you gaze at an amazing sight. The coffins are creeping again, back to their original positions. You did it! The curse has been defeated! But there's only one problem. Brandon's ghostly body is gone, but his iron fist is still clutching your arm. Turn to page 86. McFarlane never told you what to do about an iron hand. Help! You cry. Help! But who can help you in the graveyard? You try to yank the metal hand off your arm, but you can't do it. Its grip is too strong. Help! You cry again, but your scream dies in your throat. You are too terrified to make a sound because the hand is moving. The iron fist creeps along your arm. It clutches your flesh so hard you can already feel the bruises. The glinting metal hand travels up to your throat. Horrified, you watch helplessly as the iron fingers open a clanky sound and then snap around your neck. It's strangling you. You gotta do something fast. Turn to page 16. The metal hand clutching your throat is squeezing the life out of you. You don't have much time left. Then you see it. The sword. It has lifted itself off the ground, and it's once again floating in midair. The sword helped before. Maybe it could help you again. Stretching your arm as far as you can, you reach for the sword. You nearly topple over, but you manage to grab the handle. Now that you have the sword, you're not sure what to do with it. But you have to do something. The fingers are tightening. You've got to get some space between your throat and the middle fingers. You bring the sword up to your neck, trying to avoid it slicing your own throat. You jolt and jingle the sword through the fingers of the metal hand. Finally, the blade pokes up through the iron fist. The tip is just under your nose. The sword is jammed between your skin and the cold metal of Brandon Eastep's hand. The iron hand releases your throat. The sword in the hand clatter to the ground. It's over. Well, maybe not. The moment the sword hits the dirt, you hear a sound. An almost deafening sound. Hold your ears and turn to page 131. Bong, bong, bong! What is that? Some kind of clock tower? Bong, 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 bong. The chimes strike 12 times. At exactly midnight, the iron hand and the sword vanish, and your grandmother appears in the doorway of her house.
I listened to that,
She exclaims.
It's the clock tower in the church. That clock hasn't chimed in years.
Really? You say, your eyes growing wide. Your grandmother nods.
Since Brandon East died, he crashed his motorcycle into this graveyard. Wild boy, but he loved the clock tower. He had helped his father build it, so everyone said Brandon haunted this place. And that's why the clock hadn't chimed. Of course, that's a lot of nonsense.
Nonsense. No way, you think.
They tried to fix the clock a million times,
Your grandmother goes on.
but it never worked. I wonder why it started chiming now.
You're pretty sure you know the answer to that. Go to page 120. I guess Brandon's ghost is finally at rest, you say. You gaze around. You and see that the tombstones are all back where they belong. In fact, the whole graveyard looks kind of sleepy and peaceful.
Don't be a ghost.
Your grandmother scolds.
There are no ghosts next. You'll be telling me that the ghost of Elmira, a mutton, is taking a nap in your room.
Elvira? You'd forgotten about her, but you'd figure about when the other ghosts returned to the graves, Elvira did too. Your grandmother yawns.
Come on,
She says sleepily.
this is this is way past both our bedtimes.
You and your grandmother go inside and say good night and you climb up the stairs to your bedroom. What a day, you think, flopping down on the soft bed.
Hey, what's it?
A familiar voice echoes through the room. A lump under the comforter slowly materializes. Elvira.
Don't hog the covers,
She snaps. She yanks the blanket under you so hard you roll right out of bed. You've heard of bad roommates before, but this is ridiculous. Well, you'll have to learn to get along, because Elvira is here for eternity. Your days of having your own room have come to an end. Okay, then. So, I mean, even though we've defeated Brandon Estep and
Yeah.
literally put all the other ghosts to sleep, I
Uh-huh.
guess since Elvira wasn't present in the graveyard, she didn't return. I
Interesting.
don't know.
I don't know how to interpret that. Honestly,
This was it's kind of confusing because even though
it's up to
even
like,
though
how do
we
we decide that? Because like here's the thing. Here's the thing though. I don't know. Like because on one hand it's bad because now Elvira is stuck in the bed for eternity, but at the same time we've defeated Brandon. So is it good or bad?
I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but maybe we could sleep on couch. I mean, we'll still. It didn't say we couldn't sleep on couch.
Yeah, true.
Oh, they should have added that. That would have been a
Yeah.
funny thing to do.
Yeah, we could just
Yeah.
sleep on the couch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Elvira can have that room. I didn't even want it anyways.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say that's a good ending. At least we stopped the curse. That's one thing.
Yeah, I think that was wasn't that the main goal to stop the curse?
Yeah, we stopped the curse.
Yeah.
And flawless victory too.
Yeah, true.
We did that all in one life.
Somehow.
Well,
I think it's good. I think it's good that this thing was delayed a bit because look where we are now.
all right.
Know what I mean? Right?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either
like,
way,
yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed this Choose Your Own Adventure live stream for The Curse of the Creeping Coffin. Next time will be a Halloween special with Give Yourself Goosebumps Special Edition number 7, Trick or Trapped, which seems to be some sort of Halloween kind of esque book. I can't wait for that one, and that's on October 8th, 10 days from today. I hope you guys enjoyed this Choose Your Own
today is
Adventure,
October
and we'll
8th.
see you guys in the next one.
Ooh, that's confusing.
Goodbye!
Seriously.
Bye-bye.